Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss a recent article on the Collider website where they listed 10 reasons why Scream 5 lived up to Scream 96. I'm going to share those reasons with you, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on whether I agree or disagree with their assessment. Let's go. So the Collider website recently posted an article where they gave 10 reasons why Scream 5 lives up to Scream 96. And while I do agree with some of them, I also disagree on some as well. So let's begin with reason number 1, the opening scene. The article reads, Scream's previous installments open with established, well-known actors in the film's opening sequence who were ultimately killed off. By having Tara survive in the opening of the film, the stakes are raised for the remainder of the film. Now, I want to say right up front, the opening scene of Scream 96 with Drew Barrymore is iconic. It is legendary. Frankly, it's untouchable. I don't care how many Scream movies we're going to have in this franchise, and I hope there's lots more, but no matter how many there are, no one is going to be able to top the very first one. It was incredible. So let's just get that out there right up front, okay? When we're talking about an opening scene, because when you're talking about the opening scene, you're into hallowed ground in the franchise, okay? So especially comparing it to the first one. So the question is, does it live up? They're saying that it lives up to the first one. Now, in that sense of the way you would say that, I guess, I would agree. I think it does live up. In other words, it doesn't leave us with a poor opening, a weak opening, nothing like this. Now, it's interesting that it doesn't have a kill. It is the first Scream movie without a kill in the opening. That is unique. That's different. How do I feel about that? I don't know. I'm fine with it. Personally, I wish it would have been a kill, but I don't want Tara to die, so I'm glad she's alive, right? But at the end of the day, I do kind of wish it would have been a different character in the opening that would have been killed, and then we get the connection to Tara maybe after that, and that's what brings Sam down. Just another way to do it. I don't know. Maybe just call me a purist. I don't know. I do like the opening to be a kill, and I really hope that Scream 6 is a kill, an actual kill, as we traditionally know from Scream in the opening scene. But does it live up to the opening scene? I think it does. I think it doesn't match it, of course. It's never going to match it, like I just mentioned. But it was a great opening. It was strong. I thought the dialogue with Roger L. Jackson was very good. It was maybe I know it is one of my most favorite of all of the Scream films, especially for the opening dialogue. I thought was tremendous. I loved it. I thought it was really good. And the attack was brutal. I mean, we got all kinds of great stuff, man. Broken ankle. We've got the knife to the hand. We've got just the literally throwing Tara around like a rag doll, basically. And I thought it was a very, very brutal opening. So on this one, I do agree that it lives up to the first one. Now, moving on to reason number 2, they give Dewey's death. All 3 Legacy cast members are famous for having survived each Scream film. By having Dewey killed off in Scream 5, the film sends the message that no one is safe, not even Sidney. With the news that Scream 6 has been greenlit on February 3rd, 2022, the stakes are raised even further. So, yeah, I for this one, I understand the sentiment that by killing Dewey, you raise the stakes and no one's safe. I do see that side of the coin, but I personally don't like the fact that Dewey was killed. I don't think it was necessary. I think you can raise the stakes in other ways, and I could say that for another video, but basically, the bottom line is I understand what they mean by raising the stakes and no one is safe. And the first movie did have that feeling. Like Scream 1, it really did feel like anyone could die. It really did. And I get that. So, but again, even here, I disagree when they talk about no one's safe, not even Sydney. We know Sydney is not dying. Okay. That's never going to happen. She's already said very clearly that she's not going to be killed in the movie. So we know that won't happen. So I agree in one regard, but also disagree in the other regard because I just don't think Dewey had to die. So anyway, more on that another time. Reason number 3 they give is Dewey and Gail's chemistry. And it reads, although Dewey and Gail are separated, Arquette and Cox's chemistry is fueled by their real-life marriage. Although Gail lives in a different city, it's apparent in their scene together that she still cares for her ex-husband. So on this one, I don't know what's up with the writer for this article because Courtney and David, guys, separate the two. David and Courtney are not married. They've been divorced for a long time. So I don't know. They did, have 10 years, I think it was. They were married for 10 years, but this is acting like they're currently still married, and that's just not the case. But besides that whole thing, as far as their chemistry goes, yes, they had one scene. It was only one scene. It was powerful, though, when they meet outside of the house there where Judy was killed and she comes up in the red suit, remember, and they talk. That was a very emotional scene. It still gets me every time I see it, and it's a powerful scene. So that one scene, the chemistry was completely there, just like it always had been. But sadly, that's all we get. We only get one scene. It's no. So I disagree. It's not enough. It's not on level with Scream 1. It is not even close. It's just one little scene, and it's a powerful scene. I give you that, but it's not to say that it's on level with Scream 1. It's just no. I just disagree. Just because Scream 1 was so much chemistry between them, and it was just all over the place. From the beginning to the end. So anyway, I disagree with them on that one. I agree in that one scene the chemistry was there, but does it live up to the original? Absolutely not. All right, reason number 4, Courtney's performance. And it reads, again, Cox's performance in this scene is a testament to the chemistry she's had with Arquette. As the body's wheeled out of the hospital, viewers are almost led to believe that Dewey survived, but Gail's reaction makes the scene all the more heartbreaking. And again, I agree with him on that. Courtney's performance, when she had things to do, she did great, but they didn't give her much. She was very, very limited in her role, and so she didn't have a lot of opportunities to do things. So I agree, her performance was great. I always said that. I thought she did great when she had lines and when she had things to do. I personally liked her performance, but again, this article is claiming, comparing this to 1, and it just doesn't compare. I mean, Courtney's performance in 1 is just brilliant. It is iconic. And so, yeah, I don't quite agree with her, or the writer on this one, rather. Reason number 5, Skeet Ulrich. It reads, Scream 5 marks the first time, Ulrich has returned to the franchise since the original film. The revelation that Billy has a daughter in present-day Woodsboro reminds audiences and the characters that Billy and Stu's massacre still has the town reeling 25 years later. Billy's return is just one of the appearances that several other original characters make in the 2022 film that helps connect it to the original. Yes, on this one I'm 100% agreement with. I love Billy back. I know some folks are kind of in the middle. Some folks don't really like the bringing it back. I think it's great. I've loved it since I saw it the first time. And hey, dude, it's Billy Loomis in a Scream movie. Come on, man. I mean, this is great. Let's don't complain about having Billy back. Goodness gracious. Now, if you want to, that's fine. It's your opinion. You have a right to that. I personally think it's great. I enjoyed all the scenes he's in. And I'm happy to see that he's probably back in 6 because she's still seeing visions. So I agree with your article on reason number 5. All right, reason number 6. I'm going to keep moving here for the sake of time. Got to keep it moving. Reason 6, the ghost face reveal. And the article says the killer's new motive is a refreshing change from the previous Scream installments, which all centered on Sydney and her family. However, the film does include a reference to past films when Richie tells Sam that Sydney killed her father and grandmother. So, okay, it seems like this article is a little bit split because it says Ghostface reveal, but I see what it's saying. It's basically, but it's really talking about the motive here, right? It's really talking about the motive. So I'm gonna break it down in two ways. Number one, the actual Ghostface reveal, I thought was a little bit underwhelming. Although I'm okay with it. Like, I don't hate it or anything, but I was always pulling for us to get a Ghostface reveal in costume. I have loved it. I know we didn't get that in Scream 1, but it didn't matter because that was the first one, and the execution of the Billy fake out and having two killers for the first time, all that was mind blowing. But since then, all in the Wes Craven sequels, we always have one Ghostface reveal in costume, taking the mask off, and the other partner is usually not, or has been in plain clothes. So every movie since then. So I really do. I really was hoping we were going to get that in Scream 5. We did not. So my hope is that in Scream 6, it will return back to at least having one of the killers revealed at the very end in costume, taking off the mask. That's what I want to see. Now, regarding motive, I've talked about this before. The motive's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I don't love it either. It's okay. It's just fine to me. I'll accept it. No big deal. It doesn't take away anything from me for the movie, and it doesn't add a whole lot either. I personally, since the first review I gave, I said I wanted it more. I wanted more from the motive. I think it's a great start, but let's finish it with something deeper, right? A little bit more depth. And I kept waiting for the next reveal. Okay, there's got to be something else. Where's it happening? And it never happened. So I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's fine. I'm okay with it. All right? It's okay. In my book, it's fine. I just wish there would have been more. And I'm hoping in Scream 6, we're going to get a little bit more substance than that to go with it. All right, number 7, Stus House. The article reads, Stus House in the original Scream played a significant role in the finale of the film and took on a life of its own as its own character. Bringing it back into focus allowed for a parallel between the original film and the 2022 film. Yes, 100% agree. I loved Stus House being back. I wish they could have gone on location and actually been there with all of these surroundings and stuff, but hey, I'll take it. They did a good job with what they had, all things considered, in my book. So, it's on a sound stage, it's a set. I think they did a good job. So, yeah, loved it. And so, Stus House, I'll take it every time we can get it, especially since Stu's behind this whole thing, which we're going to find out. I had to throw that in there. All right, reason number 8 is Kirby. The reference to the interview with Kirby all but confirms she is still a part of the overall Woodsboro story. With Scream 6 going into production this summer, Panettiere may reprise her role. Yeah, 100% agree on this one as well. I'm all for it. Hashtag, let's go Kirby. Reason number 9 is Mindy. In Scream 5, Randy's niece Mindy, played by Jasmine Savoy Brown, finds herself in a parallel of that same scene in Amber at Stu's house while watching the original Stab, which features an actor playing her uncle's role. Look behind you, Uncle Randy, Mindy says. Realizing what the scene means, Mindy glances behind her to see Ghostface ready to attack. Yep, epic scene for the movie. One of my favorites. 100% agree. We're on a roll. And then finally, the last reason they give is that Gail started all of this. In the original Scream, Sidney and Gail had a tense relationship due to the book Gail had written about her mother, which Sidney argued was full of lies. Gail's subsequent books gave birth to the Stab films. With all they've been through together, the two became close friends. With Dewey's death, Gail is regretful of all the things she's done in the past. Yeah, I like that arc for Gail. I think that was really, really good because it is such a full circle moment where the first movie, it's all about, defending the book and the whole attitude she had. And then now we see her coming around, actually regretting she even wrote that book. And that's, for Gail Weathers, that is huge considering her character. That's a tremendous arc and development and growth. So I also like that, and I thought that was pretty cool the way that they wrote that for her. So I'm in agreement there. So overall, I would say it's about a split for me. It's probably maybe a little bit more agreement than less, but for this list, it's not a bad list, but there's some I flat out disagree with, and others I'm more in the middle of the road with. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. What do you think about this Collider article. Do you agree with their comparisons? Do you think they missed the mark? I want to hear your opinions and thoughts and your ideas about it in the comments section below. So please start leaving your comments now so we can talk about it. And I'd love just to pick your brain and hear what you think. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thank you for watching.